Hello everyone, welcome to this new video. And in this video, we will be discussing about the evolution and the history of robots. So let's dive into it. So you may be thinking why we have to go through the evolution and history of robots. We can learn about more about the latest robots. Why we have to spend time on these old robots, right? So there is a reason for that. So by going through this video, you will get an understanding how the robots actually evolved over a period of time. Okay, so how it actually evolved from the ancient times to the modern times. Okay, so that you will get an idea. Okay, so in this slide, what you can see is the ancient and early concept. Okay, before 1700s. So you can imagine how old it is, right? So in the first image, you can see the 4th century BC. It's talking about a pigeon, okay, a wooden pigeon, and it's actually created by a guy called Archytas of Tarentum. Okay, it's a wooden pigeon, and it's powered using steam. Okay, and and history claims that these pigeon can able to fly, right? So this is considered as one of the earliest known automata, okay, like an automatic machine. It may not be a robot or something like that, but it's a kind of an automation, right? So just imagine these kind of devices or these kind of mechanical structures are already there from the 4th century or before that, right? And in the second image, what you can see is it's actually, maybe I can zoom a little bit. Yeah, so it this structure is having water clocks, okay, and then some automated musicians and some programmable devices. Okay, it's actually designed by Al-Jazari, okay, again during this time, okay, like before 1700s. And this product now, this device is considered to be like a robotic mechanism. So just imagine how all these things are. And there were like kind of a robotic system existed before. Interesting, right? So after 1700 to 1800, that is where the industrial revolution actually happened. And during this time, the lot of development actually happened in the automatic machines. So the first image is actually showing a mechanical doll. And in the second image here, what you can find is a duck. Okay, it's called a digesting duck. These duck can mimic the animal motion. If we put grains, it can digest it through, I mean, like an animal, okay, through the mechanical structures inside it. This is the inside of this doll. So this is what we can see in the industrial revolution, and it is not limited to these machines, but there are multiple machines as well. Okay, I didn't put a lot of machines into it, but these are some examples. So coming back to 20th century, okay, you can say a lot of development happened in robotics and robots. Okay, in 1921, the term called robot actually coined by Karel Capek, okay, in his play called RUR. And then in 1942, there is a guy called Isaac Asimov introduced 3 laws of robotics. I hope you are familiar with that, but maybe I can just go through these laws. So these are the 3 laws. A robot may not injure a human being or through inaction allow a human being to come to harm. So mainly it's talking about like it may not injure a human being. Okay. The second law, a robot must obey orders given to it by a human being except where such orders would conflict with the first law. So the second law says it should obey the human, and it should not, these orders should not be contradicting with the first one. And the third one, it says a robot must protect its own existence as long as such protection does not conflict with the first or second law. So it's mainly talking about the protection of the robot itself, and that will not be conflicting with the first and second. So this is clear, right? So these are the famous three laws of robotics. And now jumping to the industrial and computer era. So in this time is actually computer actually created the basic form. Okay, not like the form that we are seeing now. And during this time, there are a lot of industrial robots popping up. So in 1954, you can see here, there is a guy called George Devol invent the Unimate, which is considered to be the first industrial robot. After that, in 1961, these robots are started in assembly lines. Okay, they got deployed in General Motors assembly line, which is interesting because after its discovery in 1954, these robots started doing the work in the actual production from 1961. So you can understand that robots are there in the production from 1961 at least. Now, during this time, there are some other companies also came. Okay, you can find the popular companies like Fanuc, Kuka, ABB. These are like pioneers in industrial robotics. This image shows an early prototype of a Kuka robotic arm. And now jumping into 1970s and 1980s in specific, you can find again there are different models from Unimate, and there are many arms actually popped up during this time. And 1990s and 2000, there are many more robots, not only the industrial robots, even the Mars rovers. And then 21st century, many robots. So in 2000s, you can find Roomba, which is the cleaning robots. Okay, Sony Aibo, which is the pet robot. Then in 2010, you can see the Asimo robot. Okay, Asimo, which is the humanoid robot. And there are many more. Okay, you can find the Da Vinci surgical robot system, which was in 2000 and 2010. There are many industrial robots, and yeah, the list goes on. In 21st century, there is a boom in robotics. Okay, from 2000 to 2025, I will say, like, you can find cobots, which is like this arm is called Universal Robot, launched in 2008. And the Boston Dynamics is very popular. You can find the humanoids from Boston Dynamics, the Sport, which is a quadruped that you can see here. All these robots popped up in 2010 to 2015. And you can find social robots or service robots like Pepper from SoftBank. Now, from 2020, you can see many humanoids, okay, like Tesla Optimus, which is the flagship product from Tesla. Then Unitree G1, I think you are very familiar with it. Then Figure is another company. These are some examples. You can find at least like 10 to 15 humanoid robotics companies now. Okay, this is really a robotics era because from 2000, you can see a flooding of robots into the market. Okay, from the consumer space, research, education, and now we can see the humanoids, which can do the household jobs, then automation, industrial automation, all these things. So what will be the future? So I already mentioned to you, like, the physical AI is one of the area that can have good impact on robots. That means mostly the robots will be controlled by a model, okay, a trained model, and those humanoids that we have seen earlier will be more and more intelligent by using these models. Okay, and you can see more autonomous robots in the future. So I think you got an idea, like, how the robots actually transform from some basic machines to the advanced humanoids. So hope you understand from where we started and where we are now in robots. Okay, we are actually in the very exciting phase of robotics. So thanks for watching. See you in the next video.